Exactly 10 years ago today, a low-pressure system in the Caribbean grew into a tropical storm and was given a name, Sandy. It would go on to become the largest Atlantic hurricane on record, with storm force winds extending for more than 1,000 miles, and it would do catastrophic damage, including here in the New York metro area. Tanya Rivero visited one place where they remember the storm and are trying to prepare for the next one. Tanya, good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Staten Island, one of New York City's 5 boroughs, was one of the places hardest hit by Sandy. Now, an innovative project run by the New York Governor's Office of Storm Recovery and slated to be completed in 2024 is offering a natural solution to storm protection by giving a small but mighty creature a very big role.
Oh, yeah.
Off this Brooklyn dock, a short ferry ride from Lower Manhattan, thousands of oysters with a big future are quietly growing.
We did it! This is what we love, is seeing them grow out.
Katie Mosher is senior director at the Billion Oyster Project, a nonprofit that has restored 100 million oysters and counting all around New York Harbor.
They're now about 2 inches and they're reproductive. So that means that they can reproduce larvae that will spread out throughout the harbor.
But some of these oysters go over to the living breakwaters, correct?
Yeah, so in about 2 years, we should be ready to put oysters on the breakwaters, and they'll be on rock materials positioned in a way so that you have lots of spaces for all kinds of species, and so oysters will be a part of that.
The living breakwaters, currently under construction off Staten Island's southern shore, are a series of stone walls extending 2,400 linear feet that will eventually be covered with tens of millions of oysters, the living part of the breakwaters, a collaborative project aiming to protect the shoreline and promote marine life.
My colleagues and my teammates, we tend to go out once a month, twice a month when we can.
We rode along with one of the project's designers, Brad Howe of design firm Scape, to see the $107 million work in progress.
They've been designed to kind of be these interlocking woven structures of rocks, and as the waves approach from this direction, they crash into these structures before they crash into the shoreline and structures on the shoreline.
And do the oysters also help with the mitigation of the waves?
So the oysters will play a part in it. Eventually the oysters will kind of settle on this rock structure. Typically, oyster larvae just kind of float throughout the harbor. And in this area, they don't really have anything to land on and grow. The idea is that the living breakwaters provide that, and then that oyster growth will just make them more robust structures that are living.
Rosemary, what did this area look like right after Sandy?
This dock here lifted and made their way into the window.
Rosemary Saladino runs the family-owned Marina Cafe, a Staten Island staple for over 40 years. But 10 years ago, surging floodwaters from Superstorm Sandy, swelling up to 10 feet high, decimated the harborside restaurant.
The water surged in enough to push all the furniture. These boats here, most of them all got pushed to the street.
Her family's life work transformed into a pile of rubble.
We prepared for a hurricane, sandbags covering the windows, moving furniture, but the devastation was something that we never imagined that would have happened.
Saladino rebuilt with the phoenix-like resilience New Yorkers are famous for.
That's up.
But she's grateful the government has projects in place to help weather the next big storm better than the last.
How does it make you feel that they are building something that is focused on Staten Island?
No, I think that's awesome. And since we're a small island and sometimes we get forgotten, but I think that's a great thing that we're not getting forgotten on that.
What makes them unique?
A breakwater itself is not necessarily a new piece of infrastructure, but what makes the living breakwaters unique is that they've been designed with kind of structural modifications that help promote habitat. Designed for juvenile fish to find refuge in the structures. They've been designed for oyster restoration in the future.
Designed to not only protect Staten Island from the next superstorm, but to also offer a new model for fighting climate change that gives nature a starring role. The living breakwaters are the result of a national competition launched after Sandy, challenging landscape designers, architects, urban planners to come up with new solutions to storm protection. And many believe it is through this kind of creative collaboration that we will continue to imagine new solutions for the next big superstorm.
It's a win-win.
Right.
For everybody. Where's the negative?
Exactly, because we know when it comes to superstorms, it's not if, but when.
Yeah.
Right.
Hard to believe it's been 10 years.
I know. We were all covering it, right? It was incredible. So nice to see something come out of something so tragic and devastating.
Yeah. Thanks, Tanya. We appreciate it.